And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in business with another community showdown featuring the High Elves, who shall be led by Loopy in a very rare sighting of ELTHARION the Grim. And today, my friends, he faces off against the Greenskins, who shall be led by Tank, Skarsnik, and the good old River Troll Hag. A very competitive combo for sure. Rampage and slow, certainly quite scary. Now, for the army of the High Elves, let's go ahead and take a look. Up in the sky, they do have ELTHARION the Grim. So what is he going to be bringing to the table? Now, I do agree with many people in that he is a little bit overpriced, but he does bring some pretty decent tools to the table. He's a pretty good combat character, not the craziest combat stats, but good AP, he causes terror, he's on a Griffin, so he can be impactful and cause mass terror routes, and has good enough AP to, fight some big targets. But let's look. So he does have the Helm of Everest, so he can make it so nearby units will not lose casualties. This is very good with like the Fireborn and Elite units, and you can actually use it on Phoenixes, which is really hilarious. So for example, if you have like a Flamespire Phoenix, an Arcane Phoenix, you name it, it's about to go down, and you pretty much want to guarantee it is going to get its rebirth off. You can cast the Helm of Everest, and it doesn't die, and it pretty much always gets its rebirth, at least in my testing, so certainly very cool. He's got Soul Quench as well, and Soul Quench is actually a bit of an underrated spell. It can do some decent damage against like Savage Orc units and archery, packs of archers, things like that. On top of that, Hand of Glory and Apotheosis, pretty standard stuff there. He's got 2 Reaver Archers just for skirmishing and poking. Pretty good DPS against like Savage Orcs, but more importantly, as the game does progress, as some of the low leadership Greenskin units do break, the Reaver Archers can chase them off the battlefield, so having a little bit of mobility always helps. Now the Lion does feast tonight, and we're going to be getting all Lion King in here, Narnia up in this battle. He's got Rahagri's Pride, as well as another group of White Lions, or the War Lions of Krace, and also the Lion Chariots of Krace. And these guys are pretty good. They hit very hard, good AP values, bonus for infantry, quite effective at cutting through Savage Orcs, Black Orcs, you name it. These guys can certainly do the trick. The rest of the army is going to be Silver and Guard, backed up by a couple of groups of Rangers, and on the far side, some Dragon Princes, who I'm sure will be the target of the Helm of Everest. Now for Tank's army, it's definitely a Troll Toll army, but not in a meme sort of way. Stone Trolls are actually very strong. Against High Elves, they have very good missile resist, and against Sisters of Avalorn, they have missile resist and magic resist, so they become very difficult for High Elf archers to bring down. They have good enough armor to deal with Silver Helms and take a beating from Dragon Princes. Stone Trolls truly are quite difficult for the High Elves to bring down. And Tank, I think, knows this, and as such, he did bring 4 of these Stone Trolls, quite mighty indeed. The rest of his army is going to be Savage Orc mixed in with a couple Night Goblins, and a bit of a formidable Daka line. So I think in total it is going to be 3 Orc Air Boys here in the back. Skarsnik with Rampage, and the Giant River Troll Hag with Spirit Leech and Mither, and it looks like he does also have the Blasting Scroll or the Assault of Stone as well. So let's get the show on the road, guys, and to see if ELTHARION the Grim, I can't remember if he had a win on the channel, I think right when the DLC came out when I played a game against Loremaster of Sotek, but since then I don't think we've had an ELTHARION victory, so let's go ahead and see if he can get this bad boy here. And again, Skarsnik and the River Troll Hag and Tank playing those, that's going to be a very tough cookie. So the Reaver Archers here are circling about, going after the Savage Orcs, and I actually haven't watched this game yet, so I'm quite curious to see it here. The Reavers are going to be circling about, going after the Savage Orcs, and certainly getting some poke there. Yeah, a couple loose arrows going in, but like I said, wear down the Savage Orcs, chase them off the battlefield when they break. All will be good. So here the Dragon Princes come, forming ranks here, but Tank is very ready. He's got the Stone Trolls here, and I think he's going to be kind of waiting for that charge to countercharge the Princes, and maybe Mither them to slow them down, maybe a little bit of Spirit Leech as well. We'll see. So we have seen a couple Soul Quenches. Basically, ELTHARION has been spamming the Soul Quench, and actually pretty good damage. Man, look at the damage on that Soul Quench! That was brutal. Those Orc Air Boys got wrecked. He also did it on the Giant River Troll Hag, who took some pretty big damage as well. Granted, she does heal, so it's not going to be as big of a deal. In the meantime, Loopy has fallen back here with the Dragon Princes, who did get Spirit Leech and also Daka a little bit. So they did actually lose 7 models, which is pretty painful for those Dragon Princes. Every Elvish life lost is quite substantial considering their low population and their elite nature and their long lives. The Orcs don't care so much. They're going to be throwing Goblins into the blender here. They're going to be moving out to try and screen down these Archers, which I think is a good play for sure, using the Silver Shields to kind of push them back. Got to be careful though. Those Reaver Archers aren't slouches in melee combat. They do have 32, 34, 27 for their respective combat stats, and that's their melee attack, melee defense, and weapon strength, so they could charge down those Goblins and probably break them with some good shock damage. ELTHARION, in the meantime, I think he's getting ready for another Soul Quench. You can always tell he's kind of like lining up on the side here, just eyeing that River Troll Hag. Maybe some of the Archers as well. I think getting rid of the Archers would probably be one of his better bets. Now, as far as the engagement goes, I really think Tank, he probably doesn't want to push into the forest, but I really think with his Savage Orcs and his Stone Trolls, it might not be a bad idea. Playing into the skirmish game here and really letting ELTHARION just go balls deep with these Soul Quenches has been pretty painful for sure. On top of that, the Savage Orcs up the hill over here have taken a lot of fire from the Reaver Archers. And yeah, ammo's pretty good. I guess they're both around half ammo, a little bit less, but nonetheless, they should be able to punch down a lot more of those Savage Orcs before the main battle starts. So Rahagri's Pride and the mighty War Lions of Krace hiding in the trees, ELTHARION the Grim on his mighty bird up in the sky, just continuing to cast Soul Quench. It's a pretty cheap spell. It costs 7 wins of magic, but at this point, his reserves got to be running kind of in that middle tier. I also forgot to mention that Eltharion the Grim does not have his ability, the one that actually does AoE damage. I found that it's pretty expensive actually, and if you cut it, it can make him a little bit more affordable. And also on top of that, it doesn't do that much damage, sadly. So here the Reaver Cav on the flank shooting into the Orc Airboys. They can actually outrange them, I think. It's the same range actually, but even though they have the same range, the Reavers are faster, so they can actually pull back as the Orc Airboys shoot and avoid those shots. So the Reaver Cav will be able to outtrade the Orc Airboys. I mean, there's a numbers game to be had. The Orc Airboys, of course, can do very well with their numbers and, you know, not durability, but staying power because of those numbers, but yeah, we'll see. Stone Trolls are being sent out. Stone Trolls, like I said, regeneration, really good armor. Not really good armor, but good enough armor. And also missile resist, so sending the Stone Trolls to screen these guys out is a good play for sure. And I think Tank has had enough of these High Elf games. And now the River Troll Hag and the Stone Trolls, I don't think they even know what's in the forest yet, like the Silver and Guard. And that's probably why Tank was being so cautious, because he can't see all the stuff we can see here. The only thing he maybe could see in the forest is maybe, I don't know, the Dragon Princes. I think even the Lions are hidden and the Chariots were hidden, so he wasn't able to see too much. Now the Lion Chariots are going to be charging in. A little bit of a misplay there from Loopy, as the Stone Trolls are going to be coming in and should be able to just clobbering time these things. You can see a little bit of damage back on the Stone Trolls, but the Chariot's definitely taking the brunt of that, and the Stone Trolls do heal being trolls, so the damage done to them, pretty insignificant there. But the good old Soul Quench going right down the pipe once again, wearing down the Orc Airboys and the Reavers in the back, doing some good damage, and honestly the Greenskin army has taken some steady DPS. Orc Airboys are really beat up here, Savage Orcs are beat up. It's not a ton of gold, honestly, and I guess from an ammunition value trading perspective, it's still a High Elf favor trade, but not by as much as people think. So here the Dragon Princes are circling about, looking for some fresh fish. They're down to 31 models, so the Spirit Leeches from the Giant River Troll Hag have been pretty impactful in taking out that Prince. And now the Rahagra's Pride and the War Lions have emerged from the forest, or the tree line, not really a forest, yeah, I suppose it kind of is, the woods. And the Greenskins now know. It's another Spirit Leech going down, and honestly both players are taking a little bit of damage from the very cautious play, but I think that the High Elves need to play a little bit more cautious. Silver and Guard will be very good here though. They have the anti-large, they have the charge defense against all, so the Trolls, though they have good AP, the Silver and Guard will be able to hold. 54 melee defense against 36 melee attack really isn't a bad deal. So the frontline engagement is underway, the Silver and Guard have emerged, and the Rangers are kind of running through. It's like that scene in The Hobbit when the Elven Spear, or the Dwarven, spear line is like holding, and then the High Elf warriors come and jump over it there. But the Rangers have saturated in, and you can see the Savage Orcs, a 500 gold troop, aren't going to be terribly effective here. Silver and Guard plus Rangers should be able to win that fight, especially when the Dragon Princes and other troops are going to be collapsing in as well. Now in the back we do get the War Lines. The War Lines attempted to go after the Stone Trolls, but it looks like both Stone Trolls were able to kind of form ranks here and fend them off. The Lion Chariots in the front have come through and are screaming through some of the Goblins. One of them does get a little bit caught here, but Eltharion the Grim lands as well. And like I said, he's a terror routing character. So the Savage Orcs, when their Frenzy is inactive, can indeed be terror routed here. So those guys are going to be pushed back. And the Silver and Guard is moving up. Rangers doing good DPS against Goblins, but of course losing because of the Stone Trolls. And it's a pretty even fight, to be honest. Frontline engagement going pretty rough for the Greenskins with the Silver and Guard, and the War Lines just going ham. That's largely due to the fact that Skarsnik hasn't really gotten engaged, and also because the Stone Trolls have been a little bit busy chasing the War Lines back there. So very good kind of a kiting play from Loopy. However, Balance of Power is a little bit Greenskin favored, actually. A little bit surprised there. And here you can see the Helm of Oppress was used on the Dragon Princes to prevent any of those models from going down there. And it looks like he does use the Assault of Stone, or the Hag was doing that. So the reason why he used that Helm of Oppress was to avoid that magic ability that the River Troll Hag did have. It's actually a scroll item, so that's why a lot of you guys probably aren't familiar with it. Nonetheless, though, the High Elves are holding. Silver and Guard are being clubbed, and they do have the good armor, but Stone Trolls have insane AP, so they will be able to eventually club through the Silver and Guard, but Silver and Guard aren't like a killing unit, but they do hold pretty well, and you can see they're holding back a lot of stopping power. I mean, that's 800 gold holding back several thousand gold worth of units. On the other side, Eltharion the Grim, Apotheosis on the Dragon Princes, and yeah, just kind of buffing up this force. The Wa is now active though, but right as it's popped, unfortunately for the Greenskins, a rear charging flanking maneuver here from the Illyrian Reaper Archers was able to pretty much break the entire Greenskin pocket. But the Stone Trolls are still fighting, Skarsnik's still fighting. It's a very, very scrappy fight for sure. And here, Eltharion the Grim is going to be jumping down. It looks like he maybe was going after Skarsnik, but that's probably not the best fight for him. So a Rampage attempt going in, and Skarsnik's Rampage isn't guaranteed. A lot of people think it is, but it's not. He has to be below 80%, so Eltharion currently isn't Rampaged. Now, he may be Rampaged if he takes a couple more hits here. You can see he's been Mithered, he's Rampaged as well. A very powerful combo for sure. A massive slow, a massive Rampage, but still he's not below that 80% threshold, so Loopy playing very well around that. But he is going to get Rampage, but honestly, it's towards the tail end of the effect anyways. So Eltharion will probably take some damage, but he should be able to get away and heal up, and it won't be the end of the world. Now currently, Tank is ahead on the Balance of Power. The Greenskins have been able to crump a lot of the stuff. The Stone Trolls have insanely good stopping power. Those things are no joke. But the thing is, Loopy has a really good mobile game here. So the Rahagra's Pride, he has some Dragon Princes roaming about. He's going to be able to chase off pretty much everything he can break. And remember, stone trolls are still trolls. So for example, if you're able to break them and using the Rahagor's Pride here is such a good play. A mighty leadership bomb going down, which does potentially break off some of the trolls. And if it does, you know, some of the beat up chaff, the war lines on the flanks is going to be able to chase them off. I've seen many games with like troll armies where it looks like the trolls are like super far ahead, but you know, all it takes is a bad leadership situation. And suddenly this 1,000 gold plus unit is running for the hills and getting chased off by something that's like pretty much terrible. So Eltharion's going to be coming in once again, trying to get the terror routes here on the stone trolls, which are shaken. Certainly a nice strength of having him here compared to, I don't know, I guess Ilario wouldn't be able to get the juicy terror routes, but she would probably have like a dragon with her or something. A couple fanatics have been loosed going into the war lines of Krace, and the Silver and Guard are now piling in with the Rangers. And here the Reaver Cav are going to be pushing into screen for Eltharion as he is chased by the mighty giant River Troll Hag. It's still looking like a greenskin game at the moment though. I mean, there's a ton of trolls and they're all healing too. Their leadership is eager, but of course it's very fickle. But yeah, the trolls are just so meaty, and so many of the things on the High roster will struggle with these trolls. Just the armor, the missile resist, the magic resist. There's so many things they have going for them in this matchup. I wouldn't call them like OP in this matchup. Of course, like leadership mechanics, like Star Dragons, Phoenixes, anything that can like terror route them is very, very strong. But if those things aren't present, yeah, they're going to be tough to bring down. So Spite of Bad Moon is activated here. Really good play by Tank. It gives bonus first large, so 150 weapon strength on these trolls with a bonus first large. These Dragon Princes are paying the ultimate troll toll right now, just being clubbed back to the stone toll, the stone troll toll. Yeah, look at that, they're broken off here, at least wavering. So we have Silver and Guard here, we have some Rangers, we do also have some more Silver and Guard. Tank has Skarsnik, he looks to have 3 groups of stone trolls. The River Troll Hag is in good shape as well. And the Bounce Fire is very, very, not super heavily, but it is certainly in the favor of the Greenskins. But the Lions coming in for a flank could potentially break off some of the trolls. Their current leadership is 57-49. The rear charge will be quite good, but Tank with another good timing. Right as the war lines come in, he does use Get Back here, which is going to be keeping all those trolls pretty functional. Their leadership right now, look at that, whopping 43 on those guys, which at this point in the game, they're usually sitting around like 28 leadership, 36 leadership. It's a little bit more in the low-ish department. So Eltharion the Grim flying overhead, looking to get those juicy terror routes. Silver and Guard proving that they're just such a good unit. I mean, able to hold this long. Yeah, they're not going to win beauty contests here, but the fact that they're holding is good. And this is a huge play right here. Actually, the Giant River Troll Hag overextended. And now Eltharion the Grim's able to come in here, and you can see the massive Greenskin Horde is just rushing in. But the River Troll Hag might get broken, which is catastrophic. Getting rid of that Caster and that Spirit Legion. The Mighty Roar as well from the Lions. Narnia is just going ham. And yeah, that's huge. So the River Troll Hag is going to get broken. Potentially, yes, an actual break and Terrify, which means if there's any mobile High Elf units nearby, they can just chase that Hag off. So Rampage attempts on Eltharion the Grim did not work because he was not at the proper threshold. You can only Rampage a unit so often. So basically, they can be Rampaged once per threshold. So I believe that was the 3rd one. And he couldn't be Rampaged again. So the Fermented Fungi still does apply a debuff. But look at this mass exodus here from the Greenskins. The trolls all got terror routed and broken and shattered from having broken so many times. And now this is where the war lines are really going to shine. The River Troll Hag is going to be chased off. I would imagine these other Reavers will chase off these Stone Trolls, and Eltharion the Grim knows these ones are shattered. So from here, he simply just goes after the Stone Trolls and chases those bad boys down. And the War Lines of Krace going in for the kill now, going after the mighty Stone Trolls. Oh yeah, the hunt is on. The Lion Feast tonight. And yeah, I mean, they have good AP too, so they're going to be able to actually nibble and do some damage on those guys. So now from here, let's go ahead and take a look at what the Greenskins have. Eltharion will chase those guys down. Many of the Trolls are going to be chased off the battlefield. There's 2 Night Goblin Fanatics here, some basic Gabos here. Rangers are in good shape though, and Eltharion is a big AP terror-causing monster, so even though Skarsnik in a vacuum right here probably would beat Eltharion, there's going to be like other troops probably surrounding Skarsnik, but Balance Fire is still pretty darn even. Nice Fanatic play right there. You can see, oh no, the River Troll Hag came back! Oh, I did not see that! So Get Back here is activated, and she's healing. Oh, that's tough. So Eltharion finished chasing off those trolls, it looks like. They're wavering, they're back now, but I think he knows that he has to come back here and get in this fight. So the River Troll Hag and company are going to be fighting Silver and Guard. Silver and Guard with their anti-large should be good. Also, we do have some Lions here. But now Eltharion has to finish off that Hag, I would imagine. A big charge coming in. The Hag does get staggered. She's wavering. She's terrified. Spite of Bad Moon is active as well. But negative 50. Fermented Fungi. Oh, actually, that was the 3rd Fermented Fungi. But it looks like he hadn't reached the next threshold for that. So it didn't Rampage him. But nonetheless, the Giant River Troll Hag is broken. Loopy's going to be pulling back up in the sky. Tank with Skarsnik here is holding, but this pretty much is going to be really hard for Skarsnik. It's going to take him a while to kill all those spears, especially Silver and Guard with their insane leadership. The Hag is down, and Eltharion the Grim can basically just cycle charge him into oblivion now. And you can see Skarsnik is really paying the troll toll as he is finished. Well played, man. What a good scrap between those 2 players. And it was really refreshing to see a good Eltharion game, because I do think he's overpriced and a little bit weaker than other High Elf Lord options, but he still had some teeth there. His Soul Quenches were good. He brought healing to the table, and it was quite fun. But really, again, the hidden MVPs were the Silver and Guard and the Lion Chariot's got so many kills as well. But man, those Stone Trolls are hard to kill. Really, really tough for sure. Well played to both players. I mean, that's a really powerful Greenskin combo with the Hag and Skarsnik. ELTHARION was able to survive it and get the good engagements, and yeah, both players played a great game, but Loopy was able to edge it out with some great skirmishing, some great engagements with ELTHARION, and just big alpha strike with the roars, with their Hogger's Pride, that leadership bomb and speed bomb. So good. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this High Elf vs Greenskin game. We'll be back with more content soon, and you guys take care.